God is based on the idea that God created me, and that I realized that we live in a world that was created by Him, and that we are expected to act in such a way as to spread that love to all those that we meet as a result of the Christian faith that we espouse. So love is, I mean, obviously, love of God is part of who I am if I profess to be a practicing Christian, and consequently, anytime that I teach, anytime that I do anything that is creative, anything that is in any way generating some sort of creative energy, I am following God's example of creation, and therefore love.
Because it's a mystery. Quite frankly, I guess if you look at God as love, I think I don't want to sound silly, but I think it's really easy to understand God as Trinity if you see God as love. Because love in its nature can't exist by itself. For love to be real, you have to have a source of love, which is directed at the other. So you have the person who loves, and the person who is loved, and then that love between them is so real that without the one who loves or without the one who is loved, the love is still real. So to me, that's Trinity: the lover, the loved, and the love. And I see that as God. That makes a lot of sense to me, and that's pretty easy for me.
You know, the Church has always said that yes, there are that non-Christians can in fact experience God. Not in the Church says, well, through the Church and through the teachings of Jesus, we believe is the best way. But the Church has always said that there are other ways of coming to God, and non-Christians can in fact, a good person who is not a Christian can in fact come to God. Yes, that's not a problem whatsoever.
I guess the biggest way that it has matured is through my becoming a mother myself, and really understanding this sense of loving another that's part of you, that you've created and given life to, and then you have to let it go, and it has its own mind and its own will, and to understand that is an incredible gift, and that has drawn me closer to God, because I have to trust God that if I do the same thing that Jesus did and try and love enough to let go and forgive, that God will fill in the things that I'm not happy with in terms of that parenthood.
I think that as I've grown up, my faith has grown up. When I was in high school, a lot of drama, a lot of emotion, lots of stuff like that. As I get older, don't get me wrong, the drama and the emotion is still there, but it's a lot more subdued. It's a lot more, seeing through the nonsense and getting more focused to the real stuff.
I think teenagers are faced with culture today, with a society that has a whole lot more in-your-face, biblical Christian values, anti-loving, anti-life. It's more prevalent and more out there than ever before. Adolescence, being teenager in high school, has never been an easy stage of life for the human creature. But in terms of struggling with a spiritual relationship with God, I don't think you have the corner on the market there. I think we all do, and we're all in it together.
I mean, you've got some growing up to do. I mean, teenagers are not adults. There's a reason why, for example, and I know that teenagers find this very frustrating. Like, why teenagers are not allowed to drink? Why teenagers are not, up until a certain, you're not, there are certain things that come with maturity, and even when maturity comes along, there's some adults that can't handle certain aspects of being adults, and so consequently, it's like anything else. You kind of grow into it, and so when you're dealing with maturity and you're dealing with just life in general, not even faith life, not even religious life, but just life in general, there are just some things that can only be acquired